Okay, let's do something a little different today. Let's play a game. Let's have some fun. I keep seeing all these people online telling me how awesome AI coding is and how this is going to empower anybody to build any sort of application that they might dream up. And just, can you believe how amazing this revolution is? I put this thread right here on Twitter. I'm going to link to it down below in the description. I highly, highly recommend you read this thread. It's not too long. It's going to take you 60 seconds, okay, to read this thread. And it's important because towards the end of it, I share a very, very critical conclusion, okay? And I love this new show on Apple TV. Well, it's not new. It's in season 2 now, called Severance. And there's a little nod to your innie, because your innie is going to be a permanent outie if you don't understand exactly what I'm saying in this thread, because AI is going to replace a lot of you. Not all of you, not me, not some of you, but it's going to replace a lot of you. And this thread shows who that's going to be, who's going to get replaced, who's not going to get replaced. That's in this thread right here. I'm going to link to it in the description. I highly recommend you read it. Take 60 seconds out of your day and read this thread. Now, let's play our game. Let's go investigate how AI can assist us. And we're not going to build an app. We're going to do something fairly simple. And I think what might happen as we do this is it's going to reveal a lot of what I talk about in this thread. And it's going to reveal a lot of the major limitations. Now, the way that we're going to do this, okay, I'm going to hop over to my boy Claude here, okay? Claude's going to help us. And I've got a code pen right here. And it's a blank slate. What we're going to try to do, there's this concept of like a flip button. They're really popular at the moment. It's a button where, like, you know, you have a button label typically. When you hover over the button, the label flips. Okay, it rotates to the same label. The same label shows up. I mean, you could theoretically make it say something different. In fact, if you could. It could definitely support that. And then when you unhover, it flips back. It rotates back to its original label. We're just going to see if Claude can help us do that. That's like a fairly basic, fairly simple task. Can Claude get it done? And what does the process of getting that done look like? Well, I mean, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're gonna dive right into this. Hopefully it doesn't take too long because I've got a call in like 30 minutes. Okay, we don't have much time. We got to see what we can get done here. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna say, okay, how can Claude help you today? I would like to create a button where and by the way, I want you to do this from the perspective of the, like, anybody can do it. The lay person. You're a lay. Let's all pretend to be kind of like lay people right now. Okay. Just let's go at it from that perspective. I would like to create a button where the label switches or animates when I hover over the button. Can you help? Okay. Let's just see where we start. Okay, it's thinking, it's generating. That looks quite complicated. I didn't want to use React. The button using Tailwind's transition utilities and React state. The text smoothly scales between click me and let's go. You can customize the text colors and, well, that doesn't even work. I didn't want to, I don't, if I'm a layperson, I mean, what? Do they even know what Tailwind is? Do they know what React is? Okay. I just want to use HTML and CSS. Okay. I mean, let's get started with this. Okay. Let's hop over. We're going to put this into the HTML box. We're going to take, I think the lay people would copy the style tags. I know that we don't need them, but that might be another area where they get tripped up. Okay. Let's go ahead and paste that in here. Okay. That doesn't work. Okay. Also, I know this technique is not the best technique. This is not a good technique. This is, first of all, it's a button. It needs to be a link. It doesn't even have a URL. Okay. These are all things that we're going to need to address with our boy Claude. But this technique, I see a lot of people use this technique. This is not the best technique. This is not the technique I would recommend. I wouldn't, especially if you're doing a situation where you're just trying to animate it. Now you've got double. Like, how is this going to work with accessibility? Is it going to read the same thing twice? Is it what's going to happen, right? You got a lot going on here. Plus, if you're in a page builder environment, this is a disaster. I mean, no page builder supports this, okay? I would want something that actually works inside of a page builder. So first things first, I mean, we got to figure out which problem are we going to address first with Claude. So let's just say, okay, the button doesn't take me anywhere when I click on it. Let's just try that. Let's just go. Remember, we're trying to be as layperson as possible, okay? All right, here's the button with a link. So it switched it over to a link. So I'm gonna grab this new code and we will pop that in, okay? All right, fantastic. I'm going to tell Claude that I can only see 2/3 of my button. It doesn't even understand the context of this, but let's just see what happens. I can only, why can I only see 2/3 of my button on the canvas? The issue is likely because the absolute positioning of the hover text is causing overflow. Let's adjust. That's not it. That's not it. That has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with the problem we're facing. Save. Okay. All right. It's how did it approach fixing this? Hover button, position relative, transition, hover button span, hover button span class hover. Span, it's put classes on my spans now. It's got a span class of default and a span class of hover. It just made this way more complex. That wasn't necessary to do that. Hover button position relative. I don't know why the position relative was necessary. Text decoration, none. Border radius, 8 pixels. Background color, min height, 48 pixels. It just put a margin around the button. That's all it did. It just threw a 20 pixel margin around the button. I didn't want that. Hold on. I don't think a margin around the button is the right way to go. I mean, first of all, I had to assess that. Like, is a beginner really going to assess that? No, the beginner's going to have now a button with 20 pixels of margin all around it. This is all, we're already off the rails. We are asking this to do a very simple thing, and we are completely off the rails. Okay, what did it do now? It's using magic numbers, by the way, for padding. I don't know that a min height is even required here. Like, what was wrong with that? Why did we have to go with a min height? That doesn't make any sense. Raw dogging the hex codes, okay? No tokenization whatsoever. No frameworking whatsoever. Scalability, maintainability out the window. Display inline flex, okay. All right, we're gonna have to address the spans issue. I'm not sure it's best to use 2 spans, because when the labels need to be the same, I know the solution, okay? It's using a data attribute. I don't know if Claude's ever going to come up with that solution, but we're going to find out. I'm not sure it's best to use 2 spans because when the labels need to be the same, the text is just repeated, or we'll say the text is duplicated. I mean, they can't ask about accessibility because they don't even know about accessibility, right? I'm not sure it's best to use 2 spans because when the labels need to be the same, the text is duplicated. Let's just see what Claude has to say about this. Here's a simpler version using CSS transform. Okay. All right, it got rid of the spans. Let's see what this is going to come up with here. So let's get the new CSS in here. Okay. Oh, come on, Claude. Let me have it. Let me have my CSS. Okay, let's go in. Let's just paste in. Okay. Oh dear. Oh dear. What are we doing here? I mean, I already could tell by the HTML that this was hopeless. Yeah. Okay. When I hover, the button gets bigger, but I lose the label. All right. See how it addresses this. It's kept the same structure. This is I'll tell you right now, this is a failed structure for what we are trying to do. I forgot to wrap the text in a span. Here's the corrected version. Oh, okay. They gave a corrected version. This is slightly closer to what you might need. I mean, it's definitely more promising than the version they gave us a second ago. But again, nobody else. It's also missing the closing style tag, which, you know, we don't need anyway, but still. Okay, let's swap that in. Okay. I didn't ask the button to get bigger, though. And what is it actually doing here? So the span, okay, it's using hover button, hover, background. It's scaling it. We didn't ask it to scale it. Hover button after content, let's go. Oh no, Claude, you can't do this. Claude, you can't put static content in on a class. We're limited. Every button has to say let's go. Now this is not going to provide an instance level differentiation of your labels. Now okay, two things. One, I didn't ask for the button to get bigger on hover. Two, I'm just going to say what a beginner would go use this now. And then they would realize, oh, all my buttons say let's go. All my buttons say let's go. On hover, I need to be able to change the labels on a per button basis. Guys, we are trying to accomplish a very simple task right now. This is a very simple. Oh, what has happened? Okay, it gave me two versions to demonstrate how this would work. Okay, so href class hover button, data hover text, let's go. Oh, we're on. Okay, it's on to something here. It's on to something here. Okay, let's go down. Let's grab the CSS that it gave us, and let's pop that in. And now we have two buttons, and they do change. Okay, this is not the effect I had in mind though. Okay, okay, that's better. However, they need to have a swapping effect, not just a fade. Let's try that. I don't know. How would a layperson describe these problems? I'm probably doing a little bit better than they would, honestly. I'm very tempted to bring my 12-year-old daughter down here and have her do the same exact task. I mean, first of all, they wouldn't even know, like that first code that was given, they would be, where do I even put that? How does that even work? Okay, that's okay. So they gave me new, I don't think we need new HTML. We would just need new CSS for this. Let's pop that in. Oh, Claude. Okay, maybe they did change something in the HTML. We'll just replace the HTML just in case. I'm not going to take the time to actually analyze it. No, they didn't change anything in the HTML. Okay, Claude, I can see both labels at the same time now. Okay. By the way, I could have watched a video tutorial on YouTube, like at a great channel like Geary Co, like at Geary Co. That's the one you're watching right now. And we probably would have been done already. Add proper centering, fix text overlap with left 50%. We're gonna analyze this more in just a minute. If we ever arrive at an actual solution, okay. I still see I still see both labels at all times. Let's see what it thinks about this. All right, let's grab the new CSS. Let's bring that in. Okay, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. Great. This is the hover effect I wanted, but the original label doesn't ever leave the button. All right. Let's see. Oh. Added background inherit to the pseudo element to hide the original text. Oh my gosh, they make it so hard sometimes to just copy. All right, let's bring this in. Paste. There we are. That's better. All right. Now we have to decide. It's a little. It needs a little fade as well. It looks a little abrupt. Let's see if that helps get us to where we want to go. All right, let's bring this in. Yeah, it's not great. I'm seeing the background color transition in, and that's not the effect I was going for. All right, let's see what we got. I don't want to take too much more time because you guys are probably getting bored now. Okay, now the background color is not transitioning at all. Like it's not like I want the background's color to change on hover. I just don't want it to slide in like the text. Seems like a good description of our problem. Okay, let's grab all of this, paste in, see what we get. That's better. That's better. Okay, we might go with something like that now. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on here. All right, so obviously padding values, we would not want to use these values. We would want to tokenize everything. You know, we could probably ask Claude, can you tokenize the values that are important to tokenize? Let's just see what it comes up with here. Okay. So we got a little bit of tokenization here. Not nearly what we would expect to see. Or what we would want to see. So like button BG is good. Button hover really should be button BG hover. If like you're going to keep naming conventions, you know, decent, it has not tokenized the actual color. You're still raw dogging the hex codes here. Padding X doesn't seem to apply. Like, shouldn't it be button padding X? And button padding Y, shouldn't it be those things, right? Shouldn't it be button min height? Shouldn't it be button transition duration or something? You know, so there's definite problems here with how it's decided to tokenize. And then it didn't tokenize certain things. Transition duration, fade duration. Like the ease. Why wasn't the ease? That might be something people would want to change. Okay, but in any case, like it's just another example. Let's see, border none. Okay, border radius 8 pixels, magic number. Color white, not tokenized. Why wasn't the button color thought to be tokenized, right? Cursor pointer is unnecessary. I mean, the minute you, like, I can remove that, it's still going to be a pointer cursor. That was unnecessary. Display inline flex, align items, center, justify center, overflow hidden. I don't, maybe because of the transform, they have to hide the overflow. Doesn't seem like it. It's never going to go outside of the bounds of the button. I don't know that that's the problem with overflow hidden. Is it's going to cause other issues with styling down the line if we wanted to do certain things. So like that would be something that you would not want unless it's absolutely necessary. It actually is absolutely necessary here. Why in the world is there an entire blue box transitioning in? Hover button, hover button. Okay. After. Position absolute, transform. With 100%. Okay. Background inherit. That's what's going on. It's inheriting the background color. This is a mess. None of this stuff was necessary. So much of this is unnecessary stuff. It's an absolute mess. Button hover after transform opacity 1. Okay. Yeah. And then now our padding. Okay, let's do the overflow again, but look at it. There's another kind of issue here. Let's go with what did we? Oh, overflow hidden. Overflow. Probably get away with overflow clip. Might be better to use than hidden. But look at the padding now is not correct. So that's another error that we would need to account for. It's like a edge case that we would need to account for. It would not happen if you use exact same text, obviously. So we just changed this to submit, and there it goes. It updates. So then you're not going to have a padding issue. But if you are going to use different labels, that is going to be an edge case that you have to solve for that Claude did not realize would even exist. And so you have to be able to debug these things and then relay that information back to the agent. So yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of unnecessary code. We got a lot of stuff that's not tokenized. We're working outside the bounds of any like logical framework here. And you know, we did arrive ultimately. I wanted to get to the data attribute methodology for creating this flip button, as we're calling it. And it did actually arrive there. But again, I'm very curious. I can't pretend to be a layperson when I'm not. Like, I'm able to analyze exactly what's going on. This would be absolute gibberish to an actual layperson. And I want to actually watch them. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring my daughter down. Maybe I'll bring my daughter down and just say, hey, you need to create a flip button. I'm going to show one to you. I'm going to show one. So at least she has a vision in her mind, what she wants it to do. Let me know. Drop a comment below. Let me know if that's something you want to see. Do you want to see a real lay person? Okay. She's only 12, but she's intelligent. Okay. Do you want to see it? Drop a comment below. In the meantime, I think I proved my point. Go read this thread. There is a link below. Go read. It's so important for your innie, okay? It's so important for your outie, right? If you want both of them to be happy. Shout out to Severance. If you're not watching Severance, you absolutely got to watch Severance. Apple TV, fantastic show. They're doing a great job with it. There's so many hidden gems in this thing. It's crazy. You can analyze it all day. It's very fun. It's good entertainment. Okay. That's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to have some fun, do something a little bit different. If you like this content, let me know. Drop a like, drop a comment. I'll be back very soon. Peace.